It's another Q&A edition of Optimal Health Daily, episode 255, and I'm Dr. Neil, your host of the show. Welcome back to another special Friday edition of Optimal Health Daily, where I answer your questions. Every other weekday, I read health and fitness blogs to you like an audiobook, but on Fridays, I answer your questions that you send in through our site. Now, today's Q&A is sponsored by Health IQ, who can help you, the health-conscious listener, get special rates on life insurance. You can learn more and get a free quote at healthiq.com/daily. That's healthiq.com/daily. And for those of you that are listening to a Q&A show for the very first time, I just want to remind everyone that this is a space where I want you to be able to come here and expect the truth. To the best of my ability, to the best of my knowledge, I will only give you information that I know to be true. So with that, let's see how I can help one of our listeners and start optimizing your life.
Hi, my name is Christina from Sacramento, California. I have two questions for the Optimal Health Daily podcast. Firstly, there's some discussion about tattoos and how those can affect your health over time, the long-term effects of tattoos. I was wondering if you had any insight into that, into getting ink. And then the second question I have is, it's really easy for me to get sucked into taking a lot of vitamins, like multivitamins, but also like if you go to the GNC store, there's just so many vitamins, and before you know it, you end up taking like 12 different vitamins, a day. So I was wondering if you had any insight on, is this like a scam? Is like the GNC thing like a scam? Or, are these vitamins really helping me, or is it really just in my head? Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for your questions, Chrissy. I'll actually address the tattoo safety question first. The bottom line here is, sadly, we don't know yet. What I mean by that is no one has taken the time to study the long-term effects of tattoos. We know what can happen in the short term, like infections, allergic reactions, bleeding, and pain, of course. Now, a couple of years ago, researchers interviewed 300 New Yorkers and asked them if they experienced any complications after getting a tattoo. They found that if they did have any issues, it was typically occurring in the short term. Any long-term effects, which they defined as a complication lasting for more than 4 months, usually involved red bumps that didn't seem to go away, permanent scarring, and the skin looking scaly. What was really interesting was that red and black inks tended to cause more reactions than any other ink color. But this isn't the first time that researchers have raised concerns about tattoos. Specifically, there have been concerns about the ink that's being used. This is because, as of now, there are no regulations when it comes to tattoo ink and the chemicals found in them. In fact, some tattoo inks have been found to contain lead and arsenic, which are harmful to the body. But again, the trouble is we don't have data to know whether this actually affects a person's health. In fact, we can't even put too much stock in the New York study I just mentioned. One of the biggest flaws in the researchers' methods was that they had their subjects try and remember when they got their tattoo, any symptoms they had, what those symptoms look like, where they occurred, etc. I don't know about you, but I can't remember what happened last week, let alone 4 months ago. So we know in research that relying on people's memories is a huge flaw in research design. So I wish I had a better response for you, Chrissy, with regards to tattoos and their safety, but right now all I can say is we need more studies to know for sure. What I can say is, if you do get a tattoo, of course, go to a place that's reputable, that cleans their needles, and consider if you're getting red or black ink, that you watch for any kind of reaction, any kind of skin reaction. Because again, for many, red and black ink tend to stimulate some sort of immune response. Now, on to your question about taking lots of vitamins. Bottom line here, if they're trying to sell you on it, it's probably a scam. Meaning, if someone is trying to sell you the idea of taking a number of different vitamin and mineral supplements and your doctor hasn't already asked you to do so, you likely don't need them. Now, when it comes to taking just one multivitamin a day, the consensus is it probably won't hurt you. On the off chance you go a while without eating any fruits or vegetables or whole grains, or aren't incorporating a whole lot of variety like we talked about over the last 2 podcasts, a multivitamin can help provide some of those nutrients you weren't getting. So think of it like an insurance policy. Just keep in mind that some of the vitamins and minerals you get in pill form may not always be absorbed. So that's why we don't want people to rely on multivitamins to support their health. Now, there are a number of reasons for this. First, our bodies are better equipped to pull nutrients from food instead of a pill. Second, the way the supplements are manufactured affects how the body absorbs them. Some vitamins are immediately destroyed when they hit the stomach because of the stomach's strong acid content. Others are better absorbed when you take them with food. For example, calcium is most often found in two forms when you buy it as a supplement, either calcium citrate or calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate specifically is better absorbed when taken with food. Oh, and calcium is also better absorbed when vitamin D is present too. So do you really need to take individual vitamins and minerals? No, probably not. Again, unless your doctor has said so. If you want to just kind of be safe, maybe take a daily multivitamin. Now be careful when you do purchase a multivitamin. Please don't buy the ones, ladies, that are labeled prenatal multivitamins. That is really only for those ladies that are preparing to be pregnant or are in early stages of pregnancy. The reason why you wouldn't want to purchase a prenatal supplement is because it's got a lot of iron in it, and you don't need too much iron unless you're planning on becoming pregnant in the near future. Too much iron can actually cause you to bleed internally, and if this goes on for long enough, it could be fatal. So if purchasing a multivitamin and you're an adult, just buy the regular old adult multivitamin. If you're approaching your late 50s and 60s, they do have specific multivitamins for those age groups, and those are perfectly fine when you do reach that age. Some other tips when buying a supplement or a multivitamin. Ignore any misleading claims. Sadly, misleading claims on the packaging of nutritional supplements can still happen. Sometimes companies get away with it for a while. If a supplement, for example, promises to be a cure for something, ignore it and definitely don't buy it. Next, take a look at the form the supplement is in. For example, omega-3 supplements should be enteric coated, which helps prevent it from being absorbed too quickly. And it also helps prevent those fishy burps people have been complaining about when they take an omega-3 supplement. Also, don't buy chewable vitamin C, because vitamin C is an acid. It's also known as ascorbic acid. And this acid can eat away, pun intended, your tooth enamel. So pay attention to the form the supplement is in. And as I've always said, you probably know what I'm going to say next, always do your homework and check for quality and purity. At a minimum, look for a USP symbol on the packaging or an SF, or go to consumerlab.com and do a search on your own. Thank you again for the question, Chrissy. I hope that helped. In the meantime, you're going to be entered into a very small raffle every month to win a book. And a big thanks again to Health IQ for helping to keep this podcast going. Health IQ believes that you deserve lower rates on life insurance if you pursue a healthy lifestyle. They use science and data to secure special rates on life insurance for health-conscious people, including avid cyclists, runners, vegans, strength trainers, and more. They've researched this and found that if you frequently exercise with intensity, you have a 22% lower cancer risk, a 56% lower heart disease risk, and up to a 34% lower risk of early death. But in general, life insurance companies will increase your price for family history, your BMI, and other attributes, and yet you don't get rewarded for being active. You could potentially save a lot of money because Health IQ rewards you with special rates on life insurance for being health conscious. Check it out and get a free quote with our link, healthiq.com/daily. Again, that's healthiq.com/daily. And thank you again to Health IQ for sponsoring this show. That's another week of Optimal Health Daily in the books. Thank you, as always, for listening every day and all the way through. Thank you for being a subscriber. Thank you for sharing this show with a friend or family member. I hope you have a wonderful post-4th of July weekend, and I'll see you on Monday where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this show and Optimal Living Daily, the brother podcast of this one. Literally, I'm Dr. Neil's brother. If you like the format of this show, you'll love Optimal Living Daily too, where I also read to you from blogs, but cover other topics like personal development, finance, and minimalism from bloggers like Derek Sivers, The Minimalists, Zen Habits, and many more. So for more amazing content read to you for free, come subscribe to Optimal Living Daily too, and together we'll optimize your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Health Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode, and head to oldpodcast.com. That's oldpodcast.com for a free gift, as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.